We all knew that Caitlin Clark was great, but now that we have the receipts, she is without a doubt the straw that breaks the glass ceiling. Did you see the news about her? Holy, yep. It's officially time for the haters to kiss the ring, give flowers, and stop their jealously motivated denial of her greatness. Decided to rename the organization the Caitlin Clark Basketball Association since she now owns it. If you knew Caitlin was the cause behind the WNBA's success all along, then get ready for these draw stats that feature haters, several media celebrity hacks, and complete chaos. But first, listen to this. Respected valuation experts' latest report in the Indianapolis Star. According to Dr. Ryan Brewer's estimation, Caitlin Clark contributed 26.5% of the WBA's overall economic activity. The figure was so shocking that the doctor believed he had given the wrong estimate. Comprises television league-wide attendance and product sales. One person generating over 25% of a league's revenue is crazy, but when you look at the facts, you'll see that in fact, 1 out of every 6 WNBA game tickets sold were sold because Caitlin's games were 200% more viewed than those she didn't participate in, which was 45%. We all witnessed and felt the value of TV broadcasting during the Fever games, but it has now been verified. The league is being carried by Caitlin Clark, and the haters are in ruins. The hatred began as soon as C began posting those outrageous stats. They say things like, "I know I'll go down to history, I'll look," and so on. And in 20 years, you would say, yeah, the reason we watch women's basketball isn't just because of one person, it's because of me too. And you would want everyone to understand that. While Angel Reese is undoubtedly the main source of income, it's not you. Because Caitlin Clark was a movement rather than just a highlight reel, the critics were unable to take care of it. It was obvious to everyone that she was changing the league, and while some claim it was jealousy, others say they were merely trying to boost all players. Perhaps it was both. The hate didn't stop on social media. People were actively working to discredit her while ignoring the facts in front of them. Their faces. I believe that the most important thing is that there should be more love and peace in the world right now. I believe that everyone should love one another and accept each other for who they are. I believe that's how I've always tried to live my life and how I was raised. When Caitlin was bringing in, millions of people tried to minimize her role, saying that she wasn't the only reason the WNBA was succeeding. However, let's face it, every time she hit the floor, you knew you were watching history, and the critics were secretly hoping that her shine would fade like a honey badger. Caitlin was too busy to care. Shattering records and ankles, she controlled more the more they despised her. Yet Caitlin thrives despite that. When under pressure, you can try to speak negatively or cast disparaging remarks. With 3 shots from the parking lot, Caitlin simply shoves it back in your face, which is why the more people question her, the more contempt she feels. She has become larger. The statistics have demonstrated her influence, and those who have criticized her have been exposed. But wait, there's more proof for Caitlin. It's estimated that she also contributed $36 million to the city of Indianapolis's economy. You can check that out again. Person hotels, eateries, stores, and they all benefited from Ubers. With all of this amazing statistics, we must raise the question that many fans have been wondering. How can a player have such a huge impact? Caitlin should never have to pay $1 in Indianapolis again. Simply give her a key to the city and invite Cheryl Swoops to the ceremony and receive the same pay as a Costco assistant manager. Yes, Caitlin wins WNBA Employee of the Month every month, and we've cleaned up aisle 4 from the cries of her detractors. She was recently named one of the top 10 female athletes in terms of earnings, but that's only from endorsements. The WNBA only gives her $76,000 She already owns the league, therefore they need to establish a pay exception for her. Let's just make it official. I mean, can you even image what would happen if she left? The league would be destroyed, don't you believe me? Check out this warning story that we are currently viewing in real time. Caitlin Clark received an offer She declined a hefty offer from the new 3-on-Ray Women's League, citing her desire to relax, play golf, and holler at the referees during Iowa basketball games. However, you can imagine what transpired next. Kelsey Plum left within a week of Caitlin, and the league's interest has completely waned. Take a look at Google Trends, which shows a sharp increase in league interest. The WNBA was a well-established league when Caitlin joined, but she still accounted for 26% of its economic value in her career. On that day, fans expected Caitlin to join, but she didn't, and interest in the league stagnated. But wait, there's more. All of the interest in the league came from Iowa. Remember who's from Iowa and played at Iowa? I don't know how the haters will react now that the truth is out there, but you have to think that the WNBA brass, who want rivalries and intense competition on the court, have to send a memo. First year unrivaled, new, and without Caitlin, it's just meh, fans would rather watch the league's golden goose play a round of pro-am golf. An injured Caitlin will destroy ratings because it basically says, don't feck with Caitlin anymore. I'm watching you on the court, Carter, and I'm also seeing you, Angel Reese, applauding from the sidelines. Recall that Caitlin Clark's games had 200% more spectators, with many games garnering over 1 million views. I would also assume that there will be a little more appreciation for Caitlin's influence rather than people downplaying it because they can't ignore the reality any longer. After all, dismissing Caitlin is just a terrible look, especially when you generate $36 million in local economic impact and provide 25% of the league's revenue. It's crazy that Caitlin bashing is out of style. Her contribution to the first place single season assist record was minimized. Her bottom feeding team advanced to the playoffs thanks to the Rookie of the Year who finished 4th in the MVP voting. They are about to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement, and they want a piece. Her star power has been evident the entire time, which is another reason why players may perhaps shut down. Of the money from the TV deal, keep in mind that Caitlin was in charge of 45% of the TV audience. As Caitlin keeps getting better, the audience will only grow. I just think of how many people will watch when she makes it to the college finals and faces Drew 18. Last year's WNBA finals didn't even come close to that. Even in the same galaxy. So yes, I am aware that your Chinese team, Kennedy Carter, voted you the most improved attitude or whatever, and I am aware that I have already singled you out, but we need to see more Phoenix Nirvana energy from you and less of this nonsense. The players will greatly benefit from Caitlin's influence, so they must set aside their jealousy and just not sure you can still play Caitlin tough trash talk on the court and perform other basketball activities if you email her to thank her for the money. But don't pretend that she has no direct influence over the amount of your 401 Q. At the end of the day, bullying her is like chopping off your nose to spite your face. It doesn't work. As the face of the league and the spark that lit the fire that will propel the WNBA into the next age, Caitlin Clark is more than simply a player. She is the future of the women's game. Although Juju Watkins and Paige Buers may be the next to try to compete, Caitlin is now the meal ticket. Do you believe the haters will kiss? Tell me in the comments if you plan to kiss the ring this year.